we got an understanding.
We're on a mission from God.
They shouldn't have given you ashy blokes YouTube.
Cursed be the ground for our sake. Both thorns and thistles it shall bring forth for us. For out of the ground we were taken, for the dust we are. And to the dust we shall return.
Hey, yo, lesson here, babe. You come at the king, you best not miss.
All right, good people. All right, good people. Back in the house. Back in the house. Okay. I decided I hadn't done AMA in a long time. Plus, a couple of things that I wanted to do, I still may do. There wasn't enough material to kind of put together yet, so there's certain things like you can do for a standalone, which is like 10, maybe 15 minutes, maybe 20. Okay, but for a whole hour, you need a little bit more. You need a couple things, right? So there wasn't quite enough. So to do the stuff I wanted to do, and there's one thing I actually was going to do about Coach Greg, but I hadn't finished listening to the whole thing. And I was listening to Coach Greg talk about the manosphere. He wasn't talking about the black manosphere. He was actually talking about the white manosphere. So I may do something with that. It's because a lot of stuff he said about the manosphere broadly, okay, was the same thing that same reason why I left the broader white manosphere and came and we started our own little thing here. So Coach Greg, even though he's been in that sphere for a long time, he's suffering through the same thing and the same reason that I left. But that is a different story, and we will get to that another time, but not today. Okay? Not today. So, AB batting first. Okay. Oh, lead off. Shannon Moore batting second. Okay. Does Gorilla Grip have an off button? No, she does not. Okay. She is a boss chick. Okay. Navone, what's going on? Batting third. Okay. Gundam, what's happening? Navone's on time today. Okay, cool. Gundam, what's going on? Adric, what's happening? Tao, what's going on? What's going on, Lavrus? What's going on, my Waffle House King? What's going on, Sexy Silk? What's happening? Enigma, what's going on? Eddie, what up? Eddie, it's 80 degrees here today, man. Shannon Green, what's going on? Hey, Ashley, Ash, what's going on, baby? How's the babies? How's the babies? I know the little boy's giving you hell right now. Look, yeah, the little boy looks just like your husband with curly hair. Panda Man, what's up, Mel? What's going on? Brizzle, what's going on? I haven't seen it yet, Tao, so I have to look for it. The Black Toxic, what's going on? Kenneth, what's going on? Quali, what's going on? Ahmed Global, okay, I don't know who you are because they're not showing screen names, okay? I think this is Kevin. Kevin with the Great Black Reset. Paul, what's up? Beto, what's happening? Fat Boy, what's happening? Kelvin, what's going on? Martin Muhammad, what's going on? That's BJ Smore. I got the fucking. Okay, how do you protect yourself from getting sick when so many teens come back to school sick? It's very difficult. Okay. Um, one thing you can do is you have to keep you. I'll tell you one thing that will help you prevent it is zinc. Okay, zinc, vitamin D, and what's the other one? Okay, you take echinacea, something like that, and make sure that you drink plenty of water. Keep your bowels clean. Okay, that's one way to do actually dampen the flu. A6, what's going on? Green Gooner, what's going on? There's one thing about it's one thing about COVID, man. So many people were wearing masks. The flu crashed, man. The flu was almost non-existent. Was actually non-existent. Okay, when people were wearing masks, it's one good thing that happened. Willie R, what's going on? Moonlight Drifter, what's going on? Ambassador 750, what's going on? And also get something that actually get rid of the mucus. Um, get something to get rid of congestion. That'll help you with the flu. But the flu should not last more than a couple days. He talked about the Black Manosphere momentarily in one of the lives. Okay, he did talk about it, but the last one he did about the Manosphere was losing and it was failing men. He was basically talking about the white manosphere. He never really attached himself to the black manosphere. He also talked about Kevin. Okay. Um, so there's a lot of stuff. I might do it on Monday because there's a lot of stuff he went through, but it's like an hour and a half. Mr. Slomo, what's going on? Craig, what's up? All those white ministry dudes want to do is whine about their lost privileges. They don't talk conditions on even footing with non-white men. No, they do not. Okay, that's why I had to go. Okay, checking in for the mighty mighty Zone 6 East Atlanta. Okay, Gynocracy Central. Okay, he mostly focused on the white manosphere though, and outlined how terrible they were. Mentioned them about being a bunch of yeah, he did. Because that's who he's attached to. Okay, he's not really part of the black manosphere. He never has been. In fact, he didn't disavow us, but he just never brought us up. He really didn't bring us up until Kevin really got big. Jay, what's going on? Mr. Sir Holes, what's going on? Okay. Big Mo, there's a super flu going. There's always a flu going around. I don't know if it's super flu or not. I haven't checked the stats. Why is it the broader manager be stealing black from the black manager? Because they don't have new ideas. Okay, because all the new ideas come from here. When I was over there, when I was over as a MGTOW in 2014, I come up with insights and they would steal them. Instead of collaborating with you and broadening the idea, they just steal it. Because white guys that have really good ideas and are really smart, okay, they're someplace else making money. That's why. The question would be just why do they hate us but fetishize us and but want to assimilate us? A lot of that is because their women actually prefer us. That's why. That's one reason. And basically we've been forged to fire. They haven't. Okay. We were forged to fire. So we had to come up with original ideas. We had to find workarounds that they couldn't. What is it? Innovation is the mother of necessity. Okay. So BGS, do you think that black guy was the actual DC bomber from? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't. Only they know. That's going to come out later. It wouldn't be the first time, but what's good be just you think he had to be black pilled. Why was he killed? He wasn't. He wasn't killed. That was if you believe the whole thing, right? Okay. Okay. He was the blood sacrifice. He knew he was going to die. Okay. And basically the Jews in, you got to remember, Rome had invaded Palestine. Okay. And there's always a revolution. There's always a guerrilla movement inside any place that you invade, right? And the Jews were part of a guerrilla movement. And so if you stir the people up, I could go into it, but there's a reason why he was killed, right? I don't have time to go into it now. If you go back and read it, right? Jesus did one thing that would get him killed, which is cause a disturbance during Passover, especially at the temple. That's one thing that he did. That's what got him killed. Okay, that's like the only time the Roman troops were in town in that great a number is during Passover to keep down disturbances from spiraling into a revolt. Okay, and the one place you could not go there and make a political statement was during Passover in the Jewish temple. You do that in the main temple, okay, they're gonna come find you. And as soon as he did it, they came and found him. That's why. Peace Be just presented the Black Manosphere Conclave in Miami. I don't think he has an issue with the black side. I'm not saying that he does now, okay? What I'm saying is, I'm not saying what he does now. I'm saying back then he didn't really associate himself with the Black Manosphere, okay? He might do it now, but back then he did not. Okay. In fact, he didn't even mention about black people, period, or black men. He didn't differentiate. Okay. I'm not saying he had a problem with black people. Okay. I never said that. I just said he never associated himself with the Black Manosphere. It's really because of money. Okay. You get associated with the Black Manosphere, you're gonna limit the amount of money that you can get. Hi, family. I dodged. Oh, the dodge the Phantom Zone. Okay. All right. Okay. In other words, you ducked the fade on HR, huh? Question be just, I am 41, single, and financially stable. Why does my mother keep pushing me to get married and have children? Because she wants grandchildren. She wants grandkids. That's why. That's why she's pushing you to get married and produce children. She wants grandchildren. That's obvious, okay? That's all women want that, okay? Tell the Bitcoin what's going on. Are average Americans and by extension black people screwed by financially be just yes. That is a long you're gonna have to come to my Patreon, Mr. Z. Okay, y'all duck my Patreon and you gotta ask me questions that are outside the scope of the channel. I've been talking about that for like the last 4 or 5 years on my Patreon. Last is chat again. You can still call me LAXT. You and Dr. T knighted me with that. Okay. Okay. All right. I mean, I want what did Neely Fuller said? Call a man by what he wants to be called. Okay. What about Hammerhand? What about him? To the Bitcoin. BTC was at 115, wasn't it? Last I looked, I thought it was at 115 because I looked at it on my. Normally they keep up with it on my. Normally I keep it up with it on my whatchamacallit on my Cash App. They tell me what the price of Bitcoin is, but you might be right. Terry Bitcoin. One. I might just do a video, man, on and look at the Bitcoin chart. I have to look at it for a couple days, and I might come back and actually do a whole segment on Bitcoin and the Bitcoin chart. How many years until black men in mass except that Keisha subconsciously doesn't want to be married or have kids? That is a damn good question, man. I think they're already starting to. Best of Chance, what's going on? Off question, but how well versed in the Chinese? I'm not very well versed in the Chinese zodiac. I know a little bit about it, but I have not studied it extensively. Okay. I have not studied it enough to even give you a competent answer. Slowly creepy back towards 100K. Okay, all right. I mean, I'd have to look at the chart, man. I can't tell you what it's doing without looking at the chart. When I drift, I'm cool when I see the Black Manosphere Conclave and respect them in MGTOW. Uh, MGTOW, for the most part, MGTOW disbanded. Okay, and the reason MGTOW probably disbanded is because you don't need them anymore. Okay, you don't need a MGTOW movement anymore. Okay, 70% of your young guys are MGTOW already. You don't need a movement. MGTOW is a de facto fact. Okay. See, because they're narrowly focused on white male power over everything. Um, Z, if you want to come up, I'll drop the link. Okay. Because you don't you're getting part of it, but you're not getting the whole thing. Necessity is the mother of invention. Yep. Charles, what's up? Beto, what's up? Said Owsley, what's going on? The bankers, I don't know understand what that means. Am I still there? You know the bears are coming when people look at only the black men in the media and ask, "What are you gonna do?" Oh man, oh man. That tells you who they respect in the room. Okay. When white people have that look, okay, when white people know that you know shit, and they get that look, and they need to run to an expert, no matter what color you are, okay, that tells you where you stand. Okay, now you know. Okay, now they can't talk shit about you no more. And you got to talk to Dr. Marifa, right? So in other words, in the meeting when they start talking about that, it was say, well, how do you feel about it? Well, the thing is, you know, um, I was just thinking about this, MS Delta. I am giving you a 1% education. Okay, what I'm doing, even though it's broken down in pieces, I don't give you the whole thing. Not on this channel. If you go to my Patreon, it's different. Okay, I'm giving you a 1% education right now. Okay, all the stuff I talk about, only the 1% of people on the planet they actually talk about it and talk about it this way. 1%. So I'm giving you a 1% education right now. Why does Nigeria want to be the lapdog of the West? Because they've been trained that way. They got to remember, Nigeria is part of the British Commonwealth. Okay, got to remember who they are. And you still have people inside Nigeria that are still loyal to the West. Okay, but that's going to ebb. Most friends hit the like button. The Black Price LLC, my brother. This brother is very smart and detailed with his information. Yeah, try to be. Uh, Ray, what's up? Mr. Coakley, what's going on? Scorpion Black, Emmanuel, are Dallas and Atlanta the main central hubs of the gynocracy? Um, I would say I say Dallas. I don't know Dallas is not a central hub. I would say DC probably is a bigger central hub of the gynocracy over Dallas. I would say DC. I would say Atlanta, and I would say Houston, but not Houston, not quite. Okay, but Atlanta's definitely one, and I would say DC is probably a close second. A black one hold a lot of power in DC. Charles says, "Should I take the position?" Oh yeah, you should. I don't know. I don't know all your finances and stuff like that, Charles. So I can't tell you. But the thing is, depending on who you're doing it for, it will look good on your resume. You have to see what are your duties. You have to travel, all that kind of stuff. But you have a grown son, so I don't think it makes that big a difference. So, yeah, I would take it. I would take it. How depends on how long the contract is for. You can do it for a year or two, because all the other stuff is still going to be there, especially nowadays. And I think um, a lot of these particular people are going to need protection with the upcoming downturn in the economy. Nobody wants the Luigi walking up on them. Okay, Daz, what's going on? Most overestimate their worth in these companies. Yeah, well, you have to believe in yourself. Is it time I sell California real estate? Um, I would, I would, I would be ready to sell it, but I would wait until Musk starts shipping those tiny homes. Okay, I would wait until Musk starts shipping those tiny homes. But the thing is, I think real estate is peaked already. But I think LA is a strange beast, is because of the weather. But but the thing is, eventually it's going to crack because you got LA has 98,000 uh, vacant units. Okay, and a lot of that is because people have invested overseas, and that's why they're vacant. Okay, eventually that's going to crack. I would say if Musk starts shipping those tiny homes, I'd be ready to actually jump out. Michael, what's going on? Green Gooner, when do you think the stock market will finally have a correction? It just had a slight correction just the other day. I'm talking about a big correction. Okay, the big correction will only happen when people start pulling out AI. Then you're gonna see a massive correction then. But the thing is, all this borrowed money is keeping it afloat. So trying to predict it is going to be very hard because there's too much money in tech that keeps pushing the market up. Rest in peace, Nelly Fuller. Yes, sir. Um, what do you think the next move would be for BRICS with the USA stealing oil? That's the go to the, probably going to go to the UN. Okay. The next move would be sanctions. Okay. In other words, there's certain restrictions like chips and other kind of minerals and stuff like that. Russia could do it by themselves, but just not give selling them fertilizer. Okay, if they really wanted to, I don't think they want to do that quite yet. But Venezuela and Russia said they're going to start escorting ships. But the thing is, this is uncharted territory. On the said on the Keisha not wanting marriage in common, we seeing a great diversion in marriage in real time. Plenty of black single mothers, but black men trending up on up and out in marriage. Yeah, because black men can marry out easier. Okay, I'm going to need everybody's prayers and libations for this position coming up. That's offerings are good. I mean, a damn good uh, sum of money. Yeah, it is. Okay, it is. Okay. See how long your contract is actually for. If it's for a year or two, you can do that. You can do that. Hard bottom shoes is going on. Um, Tunnel runner, what's going on? That dirty foot Jose. See, 88K. It's not going to hit 100K next. No, we don't know because What drives Bitcoin and stuff like that is instability. So um, all it takes is for the United States to fire a missile into Venezuela and Bitcoin starts shooting back up. Okay, so I would be accumulating right now because just like the last time, all it took was uh, the Palestinians going off in Gaza and start shooting back up. So um, if, uh, if Donald Trump fires a couple of missiles into Venezuela, it's going to jump. It's going to jump high. Can the conservative movement defeat feminism? Uh, the thing is, conservative movement cannot defeat it. What's going to defeat it is the environment. Okay, can't afford it no more. Shit don't work, and they have to compete against the BRICS. The BRICS actually going to cause feminism to actually collapse. It won't be a movement, internal movement. The social political environment is crappy, and the government that empowers their crappiness practically forces men to be MGTOWs to survive. Well, yeah, that's it's not even survive. Okay, well, why participate in something that you get nothing out of? Ghost, what's going on? You know, I'll be on the first one asking questions. Can't wait for your views on BDC. I haven't done it in a while. Okay. And Miss Delta, he's cracking up. Okay. Yeah, Miss Delta, facts. I've been in them rooms. Okay, I've been in those rooms. The thing is, the stuff I know it's subtle, and people don't believe that the stuff that I talk about to you is valuable. Okay, and not, so a lot of times it's not valuable in every room. But the thing is, amongst elite people, okay, when you start spouting elite stuff, okay, they look at you differently. Like, okay, this Negro ain't supposed to know that, and where's he getting it from? And if you're accurate, okay, then they start asking you freaking questions, like people at work used to ask me about things like prison trains and 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 and, uh, and stuff like that, man. Used to ask me about stuff like that. Dirty Foot Jose had a coconut pancakes, eggs, beans, and carrot juice. You ain't shit. You ain't shit. I'm starting to dislike Dirty Foot Jose's, man. They got it too good. The black woman on my team got kicked off of it. Well, yeah, probably so. There's no reason to keep him around anymore. Jesus kicked out the. It's more than that. Okay, it's more than that. He made a statement. Have you ever have you ever read the book Comfort Crisis? Nope, I have not. Okay. The LTL Harden, salute from your hometown, the DFW. Did you watch Mr. Z response to Jeff's podcast, Respectability Pod? No, I did. I watched parts of it. I didn't watch the whole thing. I only watched parts of Jeff. I watched some of Jeff, what he was talking about, um, and it's okay. It's you know, I'm not into the. I mean, that level. I don't have time to really deal with that level of politicking anymore. Okay, because it's too low level. Okay, especially what's going on right now. That's just too low of a level for me actually to deal with. Okay, if it becomes more critical, then I may. One thing that I didn't know is that Britain has a resource bank arrangement with Nigeria that almost similar to what France had with. Yeah, they do. They do. These are de facto colonies. Okay, like Houston, Atlanta, and Atlanta. Dallas has too much conservatism for a full gynocracy. I don't know what that means. Okay. I would say turtle. I would accumulate. Okay, but I'm a trader though. You're an accumulator. I'm a trader. You guys, I got 205 watching. Y'all hit the like button. How do you think China pay Japan back from historical past? Um, by financially ruling them. Okay. Uh, Japan is not the really big fish. The big fish are actually the West. The West actually humiliated them um, back in the 1800s. Okay, they haven't forgotten that. So the big fish is the West. Okay, they'll deal with Japan in their own time. Japan's dying anyway, so that's probably why. Moonlight writes, says, "Cheers. Any plans for the holidays? Not that I can think of." Said, "Oh, Mr. Z actually eats." Okay. In my estimation, white men are using the culture. Not really. They're flailing like everybody else. Not really. Hell, we use the culture war. So to actually perpetuate our grievances and our aspirations. Okay, culture war is just a tool. So we use it, but we don't expect them to use it. Come on, Z. You believe Nigeria love for Britain will no, I don't think so. No, it's actually the thing is when they didn't squash the first two coups when the United States actually wanted them to, I knew it was over. Okay, it's just a matter of time. Okay, it's just a matter of time. China's already building them refineries, and I think they're getting ready to build them a railway. I think they're getting ready to build them also a nuclear plant. So it's just a matter of time. Wow, I was just wondering about the vacant homes in L.A. Oh, it's because they're owned by people outside the country. Obama struck that deal after the mortgage crisis in 2009. Okay, he struck that deal. So you have a whole lot of people. New York has the same problem. At some point, that's going to have to be resolved. How do you miss BJ's Patreon's notifications? He posts them on YouTube. Patreon notifies you, and you get an email. Yeah, well, you know, Z's reckless. Okay. Yeah, well, the thing is, you got to see what the paperwork says, Charles. When you're gonna have ask your brother on? Okay. Anytime you want, really. Okay. You got my email, but if you wanna come up, normally I do it Monday, but you could have been on, man. But there's the link if you want to come up. Beto, what's going on? Loki, Barry. Okay. Well, you can if it's just for you, you can see how you like it. Okay. I mean, depending on who you want to contract with. Okay, and how much risk you actually want to take. Okay, you can scale from that 130 to like $500,000 if you really wanted to. How much risk do you want to take? Because if you want to go down to Venezuela, okay, right now with a contract from an army contract, you can make $200,000-300,000 down there if that's what you want. If you want to go to Nigeria or Central Africa, okay, you can make $200,000-300,000 there if you want, okay, but you're gonna have to risk something. How much risk do you actually want to take? China has a stake in Venezuelan oil. Yeah, they do. It's I'd have to y'all have to come to y'all Negroes are gonna have to come to the page where I actually can actually break it down. There's a reason that Trump wants Venezuela. Okay, it's more about the dollar than it is about the oil. The oil is just a byproduct. Okay, there's a reason that's going on. Look, he asked me again because I don't know everything. I'm doing everything but paying attention my notifications every day. Man, I always post it, man. I recently watched some of your dark demographic videos from several years ago, and I wanted to know what do you think that think is America's next step to increase their birth? They've already tried it. That's what your abortion law is about. Okay, and the next thing they'll have to do. That's why you think Scott Galloway and Reeves are trying to work with the feminists to actually change the law so that you can form families again. So did you see the J.D. Vance tweet and try to start conversation about reparations for white men? Yeah, well, good luck. Good luck. It's their money. They can do whatever they want to with their money. The environment will change the direction of feminism. It already has. The money isn't there anymore to certain. The thing is, okay, women don't build anything. They want if you want to keep up with the bricks in the global South, you're going to have to give men back their position. Okay. I made a career decision to get my master's in health information based off of BGS advice. That's 20K. That's a 20K bet right there. What's up, Charles?
All right, what's up?
Real quick.
Just to give you more information, it's basically like instead of being with a team, I'll basically be the shadow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which remember when I told you about when I did the show about the Luigi thing?
Yes. Yes.
And I thought it was. I picked that apart, and I thought that was stupid. You would never have a CEO in logical view that anybody can attack him.
Is because up till now, especially in that area, okay, they haven't had to. Okay,
Yeah,
just like what's his name um for Facebook. Okay,
yeah,
he puts on a hoodie and he gets on the subway by himself because
yeah.
they haven't had to. Okay, in Mexico it's a different story, right? Because you're a target.
Oh,
Okay,
Mexico,
not
you need a small division with you.
in a small division, but thing is, uh, United States was comfortable and it was open. They didn't CEOs and stuff like that could actually go out in public without a shadow. Okay, that is changing. That's
Yeah.
probably why. Yeah, I think the Luigi thing was a wake up call.
Oh yeah. That's why I can't stand her, but she was smart about this part. Hillary Clinton said, "Never waste a perfect catastrophe."
Yeah, politically, yeah. What do you think we do here in the
Uh,
Black Manosphere?
Never waste a perfect
And
catastrophe.
never interrupt your enemy while they're making a mistake, right?
Never do that. That is foolish military science 101.
And what do? When they make a mistake, we flip it on them, don't we?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's the whole thing. Uh, this the Black Manosphere, okay, uh, it's not is a guerrilla a political guerrilla unit,
hmm
okay?
It's
Not
not a.
not
It's not a
it,
federation.
it's not a war fighting thing. It's a guerrilla political movement, okay? And so guerrillas have to take advantage of the dominant society's mistakes.
Yeah. It's not a federation where it's like
No,
you know where people think what it is. It's a federation. No, it's loosely connected entities.
yeah.
And that's one of the advantages of it is that when you don't have a central leader, you can't.
Exactly, and that's what I was trying to tell. I was trying to tell people that for a while.
We need a leader. No, you do not.
Yeah, in fact, somebody just said the exact same thing. Okay, the reason that they can't break it up is because there is no leader. It's a leaderless, headless uh, movement.
it's a it's a headless hydra.
It's a headless hydra. Yeah,
How can you kill something with no head?
I can heal someone with no head. And the people that do contribute, we push them away. Okay, they're just contributors. Okay, so that's how we get information in, and people actually um, attached to it, and plus people that are anonymous that give us information. So
And
uh,
we keep,
they can't defeat that. So they keep trying to give us leaders like Schneeko and
yeah,
Andrew Tate and people like that. They trying to give us leaders, and we keep
and
rejecting them.
we
Okay.
reject it, and we purposely put people of credibility out, so we're not gonna accept your leaders. We already have our. We're like the Book of Judges before the Book of Kings. Does that
Yeah,
make sense?
yeah, yeah. A split gym don't bless us, man. You're gonna need that money, okay? The money that Trump gave you, you're gonna need that money, man.
Hey, bring that money over here,
No,
pal.
no, no. You keep that money, man. If you get that 70, 76, you're gonna need it, man. Put that money in your bank. Put that money in your emergency fund. You're gonna need it. All right.
I'll tell you this one. I feel humbled to have the opportunity because when that white lady read my resume, she's like, "My God, you live a life."
Mm-hmm.
She's like, she was like, "What do you do?" Well, you know the CEO. The women love him. I bet they do.
Mm-hmm.
And grandson.
No, no. Telemarketer. It could be telemarketer. Could be a bot. You know, could be
Andy
anybody.
ran for chess.
Mm. Anyway, anyway, got anything else to say before I get back to my questions?
Nah, it
What
was like,
what I'm saying, you the thing is what do you feel comfortable with? Because you can make a lot more with a lot more risk. So, but
oh,
this is probably comfortable for you.
this is gonna be comfortable because remember when I did the thing in Sarasota, Florida? It's
Yeah,
very similar.
yeah,
Very similar.
yeah, yeah.
So
I think you might like it. So
it's
see,
not gonna be any
if,
gun.
if it's for a year, man, you can come back and reevaluate it and see if whether it's for you or not. So 1 year is not gonna hurt you.
It's not. It's gonna be running and gunning. My job is to network and to
Yeah.
be referring to a CEO.
Yeah, yeah. In other words, you have the experience. Well, you got two things. You got the street, and the military. So he wants people to have eyes on. So
And he wants me basically to be close enough to take action, but also intimidating enough in case anybody want to try.
in case you want to try, so well, yeah, that's what a lot of your stars do that. Okay, the public. Okay, they have shadows. So good for you, man. Yeah, good
Well,
for you.
hopefully
Good for
we
you.
will talk, and they said the starting rate is about 130, 135. That's the
Yeah,
start.
yeah. That's a good start. That's a good start. See if you like it. And if it depends on how much they want to give you. Uh, who's that's been with I think with Michael Jackson's family for like 30 years. Okay, so
Oh yeah, trust me. If you would have thrown money my way, guess what? I will be like, hey, do we need short barrel rifles? Do we
yeah.
need?
Oh well, yeah. You know what you need. They already know. Okay,
Oh,
they already
they'll
know.
basically, I'll have an open, I'll have a blank check for their protection. So
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
if
They,
because I'm certified in executive protection when I went to Colorado on corporate security management.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I know how to. I could put a book bag on and get a short barrel rifle, and you wouldn't even know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
But the thing is that they're probably going by your what you did in the military and then what you did on the street of Baltimore and anything else.
oh yeah, and
Yeah.
plus she she loved the fact that I own my own company, and she's like,
Yeah.
"Oh my God, how many people did you protect?" I said, at one time in Blaircon, I had 10,000 people under my
Yeah.
protection.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you got. I told you, you got the skills, man. It's just a matter of. I know why you didn't exploit it is because you got your son, but not your son. Was he? Is he 18 yet? Yet?
Oh, 18. He's
Huh?
about to graduate in June.
Okay.
18.
That's probably why you're doing it now. So I figured once Peanut got to be an adult, you shift and make your money.
You know,
Because
when
I
I
because trust and believe, man. If you want to do certain things right now, you probably could make $200,000-300,000 within uh 4 to 6 months.
if I
Okay.
never had Peanut, I'd probably be God. I probably would have my network probably be in the millions.
It would be. Oh yeah. Because this was in the '90s and uh, and a friend of mine that I work with, right? He was ex paratrooper, right? And Samoan guy, and said they were going to pay him at the time $200,000 for 3 months in Venezuela back in the '90s
Hmm
for,
And,
for,
and
for, three, for 3 months. So that's the kind of money you could make. But that's a different story. But go ahead and give me your last question so I can actually get back to it.
uh, hmm, that's pretty much it because I've been thinking about it. My father was like, he like, you'll probably laugh because y'all the same generation. He like, how much they gonna offer you? And I told him the starting salary is. He said, "Shit, I roll escape to that motherfucker."
Yeah, Yeah, yeah. Well, I know. You know, it's good. It's good with the balance of safety and stuff like that because you could make a lot more money with a lot more risk with your skills. And so
and
I'm sure you don't want to. I'm sure you don't want to go quite that far. I'm sure Sanddog can hook you up if you really want to get hooked up.
it depends, but if I could get with a couple of the networking is so beautiful
Hmm.
that if you get a couple of CEOs, Blackline International will not be too far after that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, and plus you got connections to people that probably did what you did that
Yeah.
probably could use a gig, stuff like that. But yeah, anyway, Charles, I'll
And
holler at you later, man. Go
I'll
ahead,
talk
real
to you
quick.
later.
Last thought.
I'll talk to you later. Always a pleasure. And shit, I'll be the first motherfucker to skate ice skate uphill with this one.
No, your job is to eliminate motherfuckers trying to ice skate uphill. Just got Crenshaw's Alchemy of Love and Lust. Any chapters I should be on the lookout for? I haven't read it in quite a while, but I think chapter 4, okay, is the one that I would focus on. But the thing is, the whole book is a treasure trove, man. The whole book is a treasure trove. Read the whole entire thing, man, and get your highlighter out. Uh, Said, do you have issues with women you were dating having male friends? Nope, I didn't. Okay, is because one, it depends on what kind of male friends. Okay, if they're exes, no. But for the most part, hell, I ain't have issues with exes. Okay, the bitch want to leave, bitch can leave. Okay, if you want to leave, leave. You don't have to mess around with me and keep me around. Okay, if you want to leave, leave. That's why the exes didn't bother me. They're exes for a reason. If you want him, if I catch you with him, I'm gonna send your stuff back to him. And in this society, especially if you're in a big city, man, you can't stop her from fucking around. The thing is, exes can't come by my house. Okay, uh, um, you can't be out to lunch with them. Okay, you can go out of town with them. No shit like that. Male friends don't bother me. Okay, I grew up with my mother having male friends and my all kinds of stuff having male friends. That's part of the deal. Okay, I don't care about her having male friends. The thing is, as long as she does what she's supposed to do. Okay, if she gonna fuck around, you're not gonna know about it no way. Um, Man, they said that, discriminate against the world. The world is against it was funny stuff because they chastised black for what they wanted. Okay, you got to rewrite that one, Uncle Chris. Uh, at 100, at 100 footsie, appreciate you. See, DC, what is a good book on critical thinking or critical thinking on a natural byproduct of reading? Ah, Jesus Christ, man, there's so many. Um, a critical thinking. Hmm. I don't know of any one book that goes over it. I'd have to think about it. Because I've never focused on what critical thinking by itself. Um, that's a good question. What do you think about Trump putting his name on the Kennedy Center? He's the president; he can do whatever he wants, and that's Trump. Ask a brother. Ask a brother can always drop me his email because I got the Twitter handle, but you never gave me your email. Because how would black Americans be affected by the rise of the BRICS? Just like any other American, man, you're going to start losing your jobs. Didn't know that MGTOW wasn't around as much. Oh, yeah. Well, they just. Define if God is using the MGTOW moniker is rare now, okay? Even the bigger guys stop using the MGTOW moniker. They don't even use MGTOW as a talking point anymore. Most of that's gone. It's because it's unnecessary now. when Dan Gate calls out the leadership in Nigeria, we can see that things are. Yeah, it's already money. They don't have any money, man. They're basically Britain is broke. What's the nationality of women that are most loyal on average? I know by nature are not fully. God. Uh, I would say Japanese probably. Okay, the Asians are probably most loyal, and you work your way out. That's what I would say as a group. Yep, a lot of analysis are thinking it's more about the dollar than oil. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. We've gone into it. Okay, we've gone into it. It's obvious. Okay, it's because Saudi Arabia is pivoting to the to the BRICS, and so the petrodollar, for the most part, they've been saying the petrodollar has been dead for the last 3 or 4 years. So they got to pivot. That's I don't care what you want, man. Okay, I have no control over that. Myron Gaines. Well, Myron Gaines is an agent, man. Let's see what we got. Nasheed, what's going on? Big Mo, I had an interview for 130K job in research today. Okay, cool, man. Cool. 300K is right up your alley as a yeah, as a contractor. Yeah, you could. You could make a whole lot of money. So don't be quoting my movie, okay? Uh, Cold is in Chicago. I heard that, man. Basically I had to open all the doors, man, the windows. It's warm. I might have to get the fan out. Am I a fan of Chester Himes? I've read some of his stuff. Okay. I don't see Hammerhand in the chat, so I don't know what's going on. So Hammerhand still do what? Oh, you use MGTOW? Okay. Well, I'm saying it's rare. I'm not saying that most of them don't. The way Biden chastised Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman about Jamal Khashoggi situation left bad taste in Saudi's mouths. They see U.S. says it's too wishy-washy. Not really. That's not it. Okay, they're pragmatic just like everybody else. First intro to MGTOW on YouTube was Barbarossa and BGS video on the cucking in the. Oh yeah, okay, cool. Your thoughts on Trump banning states from regulating AI? Um, okay, because they need the data centers, right? And a lot of states are getting AI. AI can be destructive, okay? So, but they want AI to grow and compete with China. So he's gonna have. That's why probably why he steps in. He can only do so much. He can say what he wants, but the states have rights. Say Macro Data, what do you think about Netflix buying Warner Brothers? They need content. Okay, Netflix can't produce enough content, so they need a library. And who has one of the bigger libraries is Warner Brothers. Okay. When you say East African women will make the best mothers, are you talking about all East Africa, just the Horn? Uh, normally when we say East Africa, we talk about the Horn. And I say they make better. I didn't say they make the best mothers. I say they make better mothers. Um, as far as if you want children to succeed, I would say either get the ones would have to be Chinese, Japanese, uh, or Jewish. If you want the children to actually succeed, they actually make the best mothers. Okay, Japanese, Chinese, or Jewish. Filipinos, it's iffy. Okay. Um, Thai, it's iffy, but the people that actually raise the best children are Japanese, Chinese, and Jewish mothers. Actually bring your children up better. My thoughts on trouble making weed Schedule 3. That's a good idea. You have to get these people off of talking about Schedule 3. I have to look at it. I haven't really read it, so I have to look at it. We should tag you in a post on my channel about. Oh, okay. I did see. I saw someone. It's actually a pretty good video. Which countries do you see joining the BRICS as full members next? That's a good question. The thing is, who will they actually accept? That is a good question. You have about 30 of them. Venezuela is off the list is because of Brazil, but Venezuela might be on the list next. I can attest to Japanese women being loyal. All she wants is for you to be around. Put it down and don't disrespect those and assign them things. They like to be needed. Okay. The culture trains them to be their loyalty is most important. Okay, and saving face. Okay, not being ashamed is also most important. So they're probably more loyal. They probably are probably more loyal than probably about any other group of women on the planet. I said you make it Schedule 3 to help get people off of opioid. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's true. Yeah, they're trying to kill the opioids. In fact, I read something where they're gonna start hiring contractors to go after the cartels. So, especially Mexico and other places like that. So, um, Charles could actually, if they're going to hire contractors to go after cartels, Charles could get some of that money too. To clarify my question from earlier, which nationality women are the most loyal if you external forces are trying to financially and legally take you down? Ah, I would say Jewish. Okay, and then I would say Jewish, and then I would say Asian, and then after that probably Latina. Latinas don't mind being poor. Okay. Well, they try to use anything to get people off of opioids. Opioids are actually killing white people left and right. That's why. So, struggling brother said, "Do you think more men and women have achieved divinity?" I think more men have. Japanese women forever. Okay. Say learn the language. Yeah. Yeah. There's a whole bunch of people trying to get in. I think it depends on the vote. Why do Black American women mostly have side dudes even when they're married? Because that comes back from the slave um, narrative. Okay. So I keep saying that our culture is we have not completely gotten rid of the plantation culture. Okay, black women have always had more than one lover. That's very common. In fact, sometimes it's even encouraged. My wife is Chinese, first generation, came here at 11 years old, been together 20 years, best decision ever made. I love red flags. Okay. Is it a bad time to invest into the market? Depends on how you invest. The things we want to invest in market going up or down. Depends on how you invest. Peace, Master. Do you remember the Toni Morrison source or any sources where it said black men encourage girls to? Oh, she said it about her. I can't remember what the source was, but she actually said it about her that her men in her family actually didn't want her to be a servant, um, because they knew how white men would actually impose themselves on black women. So they all got together and made sure and sent her to Howard. I can't remember the exact uh, thing where it came from. I'm learning Japanese now. How can I learn it quickly? Um, one guy told me, I think it was a guy, Tim Ferriss said, take a Japanese calligraphy class. Okay, he said that was where he learned it a lot faster. Second thing is that um, the old-fashioned way. Okay. There's tons of there's AIs, there's tons of learning stuff that's out there. Um, First thing you actually want to do is get your vocabulary up. In fact, the guy that talked about ultra learning said vocabulary is king. Flashcards are king. Okay. What you need to do is get you a whole bunch of flashcards, um, and get your book that says that will actually give you the most used 1,000 words first, and then work your way up. Okay, if you really want to learn it really fast, okay, and you willing to put in the time, at least like a couple hours a day. Okay, flashcards, learn your first 1,000 words. Uh, go through at least 10 flashcards per day. Okay, at least 10. Okay. To go through and five at a time. Okay, and master it. Okay, five at a time. Okay, if you break it down into flashcards, you can actually memorize 5 flashcards in less than 15 minutes. That means you can actually memorize 20 words in an hour. Okay, and get it into your head if you want to do it that way. And then what you do is later on go back and take the flashcards and write those words down 10 times each, okay? And then you can always go onto like Google Translate and hear the sound, okay? How it's spoken, how it sounds when you actually speak it. So that's the quickest way. There's a lot of other ways like Anki Droid where you actually put it in and it gives you time flashcards. But the fastest way that I know of that I've come across because I'm learning Swahili is basically um, first 1,000 words. You can actually most useful 1,000 words. You can actually buy a book or go to ChatGPT and say, give me the most used 1,000 words in Japanese, and it'll actually give you a whole list from top to bottom. Okay, that's where you start. Okay, and then if you do that, and then after about once you learn them 1,000 words, you can actually start reading and start adding words, and then you go to your second 1,000 words. And by the time you get to, I say, to actually be conversational in any language is about between 3,000 and 5,000 words to be conversational. That's what I would do. That's the quickest way to learn it. Mark Muhammad says, I have goals tied to investment ownership, but I have found no foundation in business. I went and pulled the curriculum being a CFA level 1. Does this sound sensible for starting my own stuff? Yeah, it does. Also take accounting, okay? Uh, easy way to make money in that kind of gig is basically take accounting, become a decent accountant, and do taxes. Okay, you learn a lot by doing other people's taxes, and it'll make you money. Okay, uh, there's guys that do it and do taxes, and they make tons of money a year. Like 150, $200,000 a year. Duolingo is the language app. Duolingo is one of them. Okay. You think the Lakers will become NBA powerhouse again? It's hard to tell. Depends. I think they will be, is because they're under new ownership and they want to spend the money. Are you planning to talk about the frozen assets debate on the next Patreon? We know why, but interesting here to take it. Is if everybody agrees that they're frozen and everybody agrees to ignore it, okay, that's different, okay. And it's been what 15 years, okay, and nobody's touched it, okay. And every time the alarm bell goes off, people actually cover it up. So we can talk about it, but the thing is, it's a sort of Damocles hanging over everybody's head. If they let it go, it's going to wreck the whole banking system. You won't have a banking system. That'll ripple throughout the whole system and wreck the whole system. So basically, they have every intention to keep it frozen. Okay. If you're 18 and got into college, what would your degree be in this day and age? Good question. Probably would be as a pragmatic would be engineering or computer programming. It was a math minor. That's probably if I'm going to go to college, that's the only two things I probably would study. If you got more time than physics or some kind of STEM, but that's tough. If you want a job, okay, because if you got a degree and you got if you got a math minor and a degree in IT, you can probably always get a job somewhere. Engineering, depends on what engineering you're going to take. You can always get a job. It might not be here. It could be someplace else, but you can always get a job. I would actually focus on nuclear engineering, okay, because they're gonna need nuclear engineers. So if that was me, I would be an engineer focusing on power line and nuclear because they don't have enough of them. In fact, there's so few of them, and so many of them are actually going to retire. You're gonna probably have nuclear engineers for the next, I would say, the next 30, 40 years. So if I was going to go back, which is something I actually started to go to Cal Berkeley for, was actually nuclear engineering back in the day, back when I was getting ready to study. I didn't go, but that was going to be my focus. Data science is fine, but thing is, IT will give you data science if you have a math background and you know how to program, okay, you can learn anything else, okay. Data science is just it's learning how the database works as far as data science. And stats you can learn anywhere. Would a master AI be valuable in this climate and changing landscape? Depends on the master AI. I think LeBron's getting ready to retire. A CCNA was probably worth more back in the day. Okay, like when I was actually taking the class back in the day, back 20 some odd years ago. But the thing is you have to add stuff to it now. Okay, it'd be easier to take the course and get online with Mookie, with Theo. You'll learn it faster if you want to make money. Can you do your own investing and cut out the firms? You can. It takes time. Okay. This is time consuming, and this is why you have the firms. Okay, it's doing your own. Yeah, it is. The thing is, okay, it's only as safe as you make it. Okay, because you're taking all the risk. Okay, the firms you're paying them a percentage actually oversee that kind of stuff. That's all he. That's all that person does is oversee the market, and you're gonna pay him handsomely for doing that kind of stuff. So if you want to do it yourself, you can do it yourself. A lot of people do. But the thing is, it's a steep learning curve. And hey, BGS, as humanity advances and starts space travel en masse, is that going to render astrology and the zodiac and everything we've learned invalid? No. Okay. Invalid is because the two major factors in astrology, people, is the position of the sun and the moon. Okay. And at the time of your conception. Okay. That's what forms your personality. Okay. That's until you go someplace else, that's not going to change. You go out of the solar system, then you have different effects as far as being born. But once you get out, you're still the same person. Your personality is set at birth for the most part. But your children will be born under something different. So you have to start a whole new system if you get outside the solar system. Get away from the Earth. You're outside the system. Okay, it's because the moon is not there no more. So something else will actually affect your children's birth. The thing you have to be nimble. The Air Force wanted me to join back with cyber. I'm 100% disability. I'm good. I heard that, Dark Knight. Uh, could male loneliness stem from men feeling they can't attract quality partners by the time they're ready for a family? They prefer to have relationships. No, what it is that dating is not fun. Dating is not fun. Being around a woman is aggravating. So they'd rather. The thing is that if dating was fun and women were actually friendly, okay, they'd have no problems dating. Dating is not fun for young guys anymore. So it's easier, cheaper, and more peaceful to actually be by yourself. So the loneliness that they talk about is not as bad as people think it is. People, guys are doing this voluntarily. They can actually go out and find a chick to be with if they really want to. They don't want to. It's because the women are not worth being around. But they can't blame the women. They have to blame you. Thanks for all the good work lately. Appreciate you struggling, brother. Mackie Samuels, the University of Texas. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to go to school for it. You can they give you whole courses. Okay. Uh, if you get with Theo and take the courses, you'll learn it. Okay, you'll learn it the same way. You'll learn the same way that you could learn it in school. The courses are already there. You can you don't have to go to college to actually learn it. The only thing to go to college for is to actually have the piece of paper that certifies you. You can learn it yourself. Okay, all the lectures and all the information, all the help are online already. Okay, if you actually want to do it, the courses, the books, the lectures are all online. The thing is, how do you learn? Do you have to have somebody in front of you? You can always join meetups and user groups that actually help you walk you through the code and stuff like that. So there's all kinds of ways to learn this kind of stuff. You don't actually need to have a college degree. College degree just gives you one thing: is the piece of paper, and that's becoming less and less important. So your Colombiana got me a Panamanian rum and coke. Okay, all right. The next group will take place in 2026, I do believe. Okay, that's what he is saying. Anyhow, y'all, I have done my time for God and country. Last question before I get out of here. Elon needs to hurry up with these Tesla houses. Government probably won't. Oh yeah, they if he announced it, they'll allow it. Elon Musk is it works for the government, man. Believe it or not. Okay, he's Tony Stark's. So women are just overrated. It's very regular, actually fine with chicks who's actually fun and enjoyable outside of the realm of sex. Yeah, that's why come guys and women are not. To get a woman, it's not that hard, man. Okay. If you get yourself a mid, just like Pearl says, okay, get yourself a mid chick that's um, a mid chick that's Latina, white, or even black. Get you a mid chick, okay? There's plenty of them. The thing is that how much headache do you actually want to put up with? How much work do you actually want to do? It's not that hard, okay? If you're lonely, okay, if you change your diet, get in the gym, and put yourself out there, you'll find a chick. Okay, the chicks will find you. Not that hard. If I was starting over career-wise in your 40s, which direction would you go? That's a damn good question. Okay, um, depends on how I wanted my life to be shaped. Okay, in your 40s, it's more about knowledge. So right now, the only thing going for you right now is IT. Everything else is going to be hard. IT is the easiest way to get yourself off the ground. Let's say Mookie is probably the easiest way to get yourself off the ground in a short space of time. Easier on your body, easier on your brain, and get yourself going. It's because AI is going to be here, and they're going to need people to gatekeep AI, stuff like that. All the other stuff is going to take time, money, and risk. Okay. But if I was going to actually overhaul it, okay, that's what I would do. That's what I would do. Because unless you're trying to start picking up a hammer and a welding torch and going back and starting doing that kind of stuff. I just found I have allegedly have an adult daughter, woman I was involved with 20 years ago, just informed me last week. Well, a DNA test. It's easy, DNA test. That's all you gotta do. Take a DNA test. You want to take a DNA test? Cool. That's how you find out. It's not that hard. Just don't become a vibe coder. Oh yeah. Oh, in fact, I gotta send it to you, Mookie. There's a guy that just quit an AI startup. He says the exact same thing. Vibe coding does not work. At least not yet. But the easiest way right now as I speak is IT is probably the easiest. The easiest, most frictionless way to actually do it. Anything else is you gonna have to grind. Okay. If you really want to grind, okay, there's lots of ways. But the thing is, the easiest way is most bulletproof way is that direction. And Mookie probably gives you the most bulletproof way to actually make some money, make a career. It's almost bulletproof, okay? If you and in the shortest amount of grind, okay? Most guys don't have the time to actually grind the way they should. I was a black guy who quit an AI job. Yeah, vibe coding ain't it? Yeah, yeah. Vibe coding does not work. Well, at least not yet. Okay, it may in the future, but right now, AI is a good tool. Okay, for to do mundane work. That's all I will use it for. Okay. One thing the guy said is AI spits out way too much code. Okay. And anybody that knows has been in um, programming knows that a lot of code is heavy as an application. Okay. The more code it has, the more it's got to run, the heavier it is, the slower it actually runs. Okay. And most people know if you can actually refactor and streamline your code, the better and faster it's actually going to run. because most programs I know back in the day try to reduce the lines of code that came out, and AI is not there yet. So, and most guys said they vibe code for something, and then they actually pick through it, and they find out maybe the two or three blocks that they actually need. They pick it out and they actually build off of that. So AI is good for certain things, for certain small snippets, but I wouldn't use it to code with, at least not yet. What application do you recommend for good graphics for you? Is graphics as far as what? As far as thumbnails or something like that? Okay. Um, you can actually. That's one thing good. That's one good thing that AI is actually good for. Okay, is for doing stuff like that. But when you say graphics, you mean thumbnails? You mean lettering as far as that kind of stuff? What do you mean? Because there's lots of what is the free one they talk about all the time? A lot of this stuff is actually free. You don't need heavyweights like Photoshop. Okay, you can do it with a lot of cheaper stuff. Actually, AB uses some cheaper stuff. Vibe coding is good for initial idea. Yeah, initial idea. Horrible after that. I hear the same thing. Corel, yeah, Corel's a little bit more expensive. What is your plan for black men socially for the next 20 years? What's our end game? Freedom. Okay. Socially is to open up options for black men. That's the whole thing about it. The end game for a black man is to be successful and happy. Charles is up. Yeah, offended by Canva for graphics. Okay, see, um, there's a lot of AI. The tools for AI are actually becoming quite good. So, depending on what you need, if you know how to prompt it, it can give you what you need. In fact, who's it gives it away free? Microsoft gives it away free. If you use Copilot, they give it away free. They have a whole studio that gives this shit away free. The best app, there's a bunch of them, depending on how well you prompt. And they do nickel and dime you. Yeah, they do. Uh, uh, yeah, I'm getting ready to close out. Copilot is free. Yeah, I think it's what is it? I think it's the free studio thing they give you that goes along with your Image Studio for Microsoft. It's built into Windows. It's free. Yes. Well, yeah. If you keep your testosterone up, you always have a libido. Go ahead and start your stuff up, Charles, so they can actually start moving over. Stephen Moultrie, does that include the majority of us being in marriages with children and grandchildren? It depends on what you want, man. I'm not telling what men need to want. Children and grandchildren are actually good for the state. It might not be good for you. The state wants children and grandchildren. They need workers, okay? If that's what you want, then that's always been available. It still is, okay, depending on what you want. And she doesn't have to be black. She don't have to even be here. When children and grandchildren, you can go any place in the world and get that, man. You go to Thailand, you can go to Africa, you can go to Latin America, you can always get that. That's not a problem. What do you want? Okay, what do you want, and how much is it going to cost you in time, money, and effort? So, Stefan, I don't know if that answers your question, because the thing is, the question is too nebulous, too open ended. I'm going into the military, so they would pay me for my further education. Uh, that's the easiest way. Okay, if you want education and a house, okay, the easiest way is the military. 3 years in the military will actually give you a house loan and educational credits. That's the easiest way. I don't care which branch or what your what your rank is. It doesn't matter, right? The easiest way to actually get your benefits, stuff like that, is through the military. Okay, especially now because they don't have enough of them, have enough people. Anyhow, y'all. Not necessarily PTSD. Not most people don't. Okay, depends on what your job is. Okay, I know a lot of guys. Okay, most people don't. Now, if you're in battle, okay, you get PTSD and living in the hood. Okay. Um, Now, if you're in battle and you're kicking down doors and have to, have to get into combat, that's different. Okay. There's plenty of support roles in the military where you never see action. Okay. What is it? Only 1 in 8. Was it 1 out of every 7 people fight? Okay. Uh, the rest is support. The military is way bigger than just people on the ground. There's very little fighting going on in the military right now. Post traumatic Keisha syndrome. Okay. Oh, dating 85. Well, unless you're at 85 yourself, then it's normal. I don't know. What did you do? What did you do with Amazon? Okay, what did you do? Depends on what you did. Because we could say you work for Amazon, and you work be a programmer. You could run databases. You could all the way down to picking items from the factory. I don't know. What did you do? If you lost your Amazon job, go down to the post office. It's depending on what you did. And he was also an MIT professor from Portugal. I heard about it, but I don't know enough about the background. Okay, you have to know who's looking actually off him. Yeah, but yeah, a warehouse associate doesn't tell me anything about what you did. What were your duties? That's a name. That's a title. What did you do? If the young women are raised by the village with the same warped ideologies, then you have a younger version of. Yeah, you do. That's what's going on right now. Yeah, yeah. Let me get out of here. And I do packages and I do inbound. Okay, okay. If you're a sorter, um, easiest way to get a job being a sorter of packages, go to the postal service, take the test, and say you want to be um, not what do they call them, intern, a temp. Go to temp, go to the post office, say I want to be a temp, and put you in a package warehouse. Okay. Easiest transit. Say I work for Amazon for yada yada years. So I have experience in blah blah blah. Okay, and they're doing the same thing. And then you can actually go to the local warehouses where they're actually shipping. Okay. I would also apply to any port. Go to the what is it, the dock workers union. Apply to that. Okay. If you've done that, then you have to find other people that are doing the same thing that you did. Yeah, easiest way in is being a temp in as a UPS or USPS. Okay, I would go to USPS and say, are they hiring any temps? And then from there you can actually figure things out. Temp actually pays fairly well. Okay, they don't pay the max. Okay, you're not gonna make the $30 an hour like the regular guys do, but you can actually make um, 15, 16, 17, something like that. Okay, uh, and say you want to be a carrier, a temp carrier. There's a lot of ways you can actually do it, but that's the fastest way that I would do it, since you already have experience at doing that. I don't have any opinion on Frank Zanu at all. I barely know who the dude is. They call them casuals. Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry, Clutch. You're right. That's the quickest way. You can be, if they have openings, you can be a casual within, I think it's like a month or so, a couple of weeks, depending on whether they need you or not. So and apply to the main office for different areas. Don't have to be one. Teams should do the same thing for trucking. Yeah. Anyhow, y'all, let me get out of here. And Ram is having his seminar tonight, so I'll be on there later. And yeah, if you know somebody, will get you in. I haven't even read anything about Frank Zanu, so I don't even know who he is. Anyhow, y'all, let me get out of here. I'll see you guys later. Let me give you Kobe.
What can I say? Mamba out.
Muzyka Denis Siedem.